Happy Make It Monday. I am here to show you how to assemble a breakfast bruschetta charcuterie board. So this is something, a little twist if you're going to a brunch, a holiday brunch, or if you're just hanging out with your family and really want to make a Saturday morning special. So I love charcuterie boards because I love making food into art. So that's really what I think about when I make these. Some people may think about taste, and I also hope it tastes good. And actually, I can verify this does taste good. I've done this several times. So a few tips. One, you want to have everything out when you're ready to assemble so you know kind of what you're working with. So I've got my fruit over here. I've got all my little spreads here. I've got my cheeses, and they're already, I cut them so they'd be ready. I also have other spreads because there's a lot of them, and some veggies that we're going to use. I got tomatoes, tzatziki sauce. I have already fried bacon and turkey Canadian bacon that I have over here. I also have bread in the oven that is going to be the actual bruschetta, along with some bruschettinis. That'll be really cute and go on there too. So I kind of have my whole kitchen covered right now because it's easier for me. It's almost like when you're painting and you need to see all the colors. It just helps put it together. So I'm going to show you kind of as we go how I build the charcuterie board. So typically I like to start with the kind of anchors, if you will. I grabbed some of these containers because I don't like using the containers that the like the whipped cream cheese spread and the ricotta come in, because one, they're big and they take up a lot of space, but also they're kind of ugly, so I want to be cute. I am going to use the jars for this kind of stuff. I don't mind it. I don't mind the glass jar, but I have like these little dishes that I may use, and also these guys that I may use as well. So some tools that you may want to grab. So I like to start off with things like tzatziki dips and create them as spaces on the board to work around with all the loose stuff. So I typically, depending, I'm actually making 2 boards today because I knew I wouldn't fit everything I wanted on one. So I'm going to put a few of these dishes on each one. Okay, I'm going to transfer ricotta into one of these. I'm going to do the same for tzatziki and my whipped cream cheese spread. Additionally, I wanted to show you guys something I made, a topping. I don't make a lot of the toppings because I like shortcuts. So I do things like buy roasted peppers prosciutto topping for my favorite. If you're not in Texas, I don't know what you're going to do. I'm not sure if your grocery stores will have this stuff. I'm sure they will. So I made this little, I would say it's a twist on caprese salad, but it also has roasted red peppers in it. So the basics of caprese, which would be mozzarella, tomato, basil, olive oil, and various spices. So this guy I'm going to put as one of my kind of staples on the board. And I'm going to keep my lids handy because I'm actually traveling with these boards. And so something I did first as well is cover the counter underneath the board with enough plastic wrap that I'll be able to cover the board when I'm ready to travel with it. So for now, the plastic wrap is open, the board's on top, and I'm going to place these items as my anchors for the board. I like to put the things that are more stable first and then kind of pour in the stuff that rolls, like tomatoes and like these chunks of cheese. These are good fillers for the space. I'm also going to go ahead and make some stacks of this bruschetta. Get some grapes and strawberries. So for the grapes, I like to do little bunches. So instead of putting this big old thing, okay, good girl, stop. Instead of putting the big old thing, I'm going to cut them into like little bite-sized grapes. And these are also a really easy way to add color and interest. Get some purple ones, get some green ones. It's also a very affordable option because I realize that cheese is not always the cheapest thing. So I like to, supplement with things that are a little cheaper. I also use the cheese as sort of a wall to keep things that are more loose from rolling off the board. Like tomatoes, kind of hem them in is helpful. And my favorite, some smoked salmon. And I have some capers on the board as well. Go ahead and chop these into smaller pieces real quick. A little more accessible for people to put on toast. You know, when you bite down on smoked salmon, it gets sometimes it can get a little wonky, and you end up getting the entire piece in your mouth. Ooh, I love something so much. It's making me hungry. Now I'm also going to save some space on the board for bacon and turkey bacon. And I almost forgot avocado. So go ahead and cut this avocado open. Good addition. Some people put guacamole on this. This just seemed easier to me than making guacamole. Oh yeah. I bake my bacon because I don't really love frying bacon that much. So this bacon, I kind of do it in little, you know, like the ribbons that people use for cancer, the little breast cancer ribbon shape. That's what I tend to do for my bacon. Okay, one board is done. And you can also use, I use basil sometimes to add a little bit of garnish. So I'm gonna put this little basil guy, sneak him in here for some added visual interest. It's really optional if you do that. I just, you know, I'm a little extra. So it ends up being the direction I go most times. All right, I'm just gonna wrap these up and then I'll put finished pictures of the board.